You wake up inside a metal box, rattling upward through darkness like a kid shaking a piggy bank. The rattling around you stops. The darkness is replaced with a bright light that hits you hard, almost blindingly. The ceiling opens and a swarm of hands drags you upward into the sun. Once your eyes adjust to the sun, you realize you're surrounded by a bunch of sweaty teenage boys staring at you like they're watching a raccoon crawl out of a washing machine. You're in a giant field, grass and dirt surrounded on all four sides by stone walls so tall they erase the concept of sky. The place is called the Glade, which feels suspiciously cheerful for what's essentially a prison yard with nice landscaping. A boy steps forward. He introduces himself. "I am the leader." Another calls himself second in command. A third looks at you the way a hall monitor looks at a hallway violation. And his title is the Keeper of the Builders. They explain how things work here, and great news, none of it makes sense. Every month, the same box you came up in brings a new boy, and you're this month's newest member. Woohoo! The new guy always has the same issue that you're experiencing. No memories, no identity, no welcome to the Glades tutorial video. But there are rules, 3 of them, printed in giant letters like a warranty you didn't ask for. Do your part, don't go beyond the walls, never, and this one's important, go into the maze at night. The Glade runs like a hostile summer camp where nobody voted for team captain. Everyone has a job. Builders build, cooks cook, field hands farm, med jacks patch up injuries with the medical knowledge of a concerned aunt. And then there are the runners. They're lean, fast, and cooler than you. Every morning at sunrise, massive stone gates slide open with a sound like the world's angriest garage door. The runners sprint into the maze. Their job? Map the corridors, find patterns, and locate an exit before the gates slam shut at sundown. Because here's the thing about the maze, it changes every night. Walls shift, paths rearrange. Yesterday's map becomes useless. The maze is less escape room and more escape room designed by someone who hates you personally. Oh, there's something else in the maze, something that crawls. But let's talk about that a bit later. You're assigned to grunt work, digging trenches, hauling lumber, shoveling things that smell worse than your situation. You try asking questions, but curiosity here is treated like a felony. Your name comes back to you slowly. It feels familiar, but useless. Like remembering your Wi-Fi password after the router's been destroyed. Days blur together. Wake up, work, sleep, repeat. Then, one evening, there's chaos. A runner stumbles out of the maze early, pale and shaking. His veins are bulging like garden hoses. His eyes are wild. He's been stung by a Griever, and apparently, that's very bad. What's a Griever, you might ask? It's a part organic nightmare, part industrial accident. All teeth, needles, and bad intentions. And they have an ability to sting you. That's just great. In the meantime, everyone backs away from the injured runner like fear might give them a disease. The leader makes a compassionate decision. The stung runner gets exiled back into the maze. You learn something important. Survival outranks compassion here. Every single time. The next morning, the leader and the captain of the runners head into the maze to investigate. Hours pass. They don't return. As the sun dips and the gates begin to grind shut, you spot them. The captain dragging the semi-conscious leader toward the entrance. The gates closing, and they're not going to make it. So, you do something catastrophically stupid. You run in. Unarmed, unprepared, motivated only by instinct and spectacularly bad judgment. You bolt into the maze just as the gates slam shut behind you, sealing you inside with whatever made that runner lose his mind. Congratulations, you've broken the most important rule on your first week. The captain stares at you like you just volunteered for a suicide mission, which technically you did. Together you drag the leader deeper into the maze. He's burning up, shaking, the Griever sting crawling through him like poison. You spot vines covering a wall. It's the closest thing to a ladder you got. "Get him up," the captain orders. You haul the leader up the wall and secure him with vines, hoping gravity agrees with your knot-tying skills. Then you hear it. A wet mechanical screech that sounds like a garbage disposal having an existential crisis. A Griever appears, and it's terrifying. Metal and flesh mesh together into something evolution disapproves of. Tubes throb, needles twitch. Its body ripples like a centipede that dreamed of becoming a chainsaw. Its artificial eyes lock onto you. You run. The captain follows. The maze shifts around you. Stone walls grind like the world's angriest Rubik's Cube. You spot a narrow gap. The captain runs through, but you slow down and do something even more stupid. You bait the Griever towards you. Its metal limbs screech against stone as it charges. You wait until the last possible second, then dive through the gap. The Griever tries to follow. The walls slam together and crush it like a soda can. You stand there, panting, covered in dust. Somehow, you went into the maze at night and survived. Good job, man. Morning hits. The gates open. You and the captain retrieve the leader and carry him back into the Glade. Everyone stares at you like you either saved them or triggered the apocalypse. The keeper votes apocalypse. The second in command cautiously suggests maybe it's progress. The captain slices open the crushed Griever and pulls out a blinking device stamped with a sector number. Proof the maze isn't random chaos. It's designed chaos. Someone built this nightmare on purpose. Days pass. You're promoted to runner, which sounds honorable until you realize it's actually a volunteer sacrifice program with better cardiovascular benefits. The captain shows you the map room, a cabin filled with hand-drawn maps of the maze. Years of running, years of failure. Every corridor, every dead end, carved into parchment. Then, all of a sudden, the box returns. Early. Inside is a girl, the first one ever. She's unconscious, clutching a note that reads, "She's the last one ever." The boys haul her to the medical shack and dump her on a cot like a package nobody wants to sign for. Meanwhile, that blinking device keeps pointing toward a specific section of the maze. You and the captain follow it to a hidden corridor with metal walls and a circular hatch. Proof someone built this place. On purpose. When you return, the girl wakes up. She bolts upright, panicked, grabs whatever she can as a weapon. Her eyes dart around the room until they land on you. She says your name like she knows you. That's unsettling. That night, something happens that's never happened before. The gates don't close. Grievers pour into the Glade like a biblical plague. They tear through camp. Boys are dragged into the darkness, screaming. The leader is killed. Half the Glade is wiped out in minutes. The keeper blames you and throws a punch he's clearly been practicing. To get answers, you do something insane. You stab yourself with a broken Griever stinger. The girl injects you with a syringe she had in the box, hoping it counteracts the venom. You black out. Memories flood back. White rooms, scientists behind glass, experiments. The maze isn't punishment, it's research. They're studying your fear, testing your limits. When you wake up, you tell the others, the captain, the second in command, the girl. The maze isn't escape, it's a test, and the only way out is through. The boys grab whatever can double as a weapon. Pitchforks, metal bars, gardening tools. You lead them into the maze one last time. Grievers attack. Boys fall. The captain fights like the maze personally owes him money. You push forward because going back means dying slower. You reach the hidden corridor. The girl discovers something. The maze forms symbols when certain wall sections line up on the maps. 6 symbols total, an access code. You reach a massive steel door embedded in the rock. A digital interface flickers to life, displaying the maze and 30 symbols around it. You start dragging symbols into place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th one is incomplete on your maps. Behind you, Grievers close in. The captain and second in command are out of arrows. You're out of options. Then the girl points to the correct 6th symbol. You drag it into place. The screen reads, "Maze trial complete." Well done, guys. The door opens, revealing an elevator. You pile in. The platform rises. The door opens to a sterile white room split by glass. Behind it, adults in lab coats, sitting at computer terminals, watching monitors showing the maze from every angle. One of them, a woman who speaks like a voicemail greeting, presses a button. "Congratulations," she says, "the first group to complete the maze." She explains, "Solar flares scorched the world. A virus wiped out most of humanity. You're immune. The maze was an experiment. They're seeing how you'd handle fear, plus pressure, plus impossible odds." The screens behind her show the truth. Burning cities, ash falling like snow, a world that ended while you were playing their game. She congratulates you on being worthy of the task you've been groomed for, then mentions Phase 2. Wait, Phase 2? Before anyone can process that, armed guards enter to escort you to quarters. You and the girl grab knives, take 2 scientists hostage, and demand they show everyone their profiles. The screens change, photos appear. The captain as a kid in San Francisco with his family, the second in command on a farm in Oklahoma. You see your father, arm around you, center field at a baseball stadium. You had a real life, a real one, and they took it. You forced them to unlock the exit. Masked rescuers burst in, shouting for you to move. They push you into a helicopter. The Glade shrinks below. The maze stretches outward, a concrete nightmare, cold and massive. The helicopter flies over sand dunes and ruins. The world outside is enormous and dead at the same time. You should feel free. Instead, you feel tired. Somewhere else, behind glass in another facility, those same scientists you watched die on video stand in a new room, alive, reviewing footage of your escape like it's a boring PowerPoint presentation. One of them says, "Phase 2 is ready." You escaped the maze, you didn't escape the experiment.